have been growing seeds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, and we have been growing them in our greenhouse, which is right here, the gift that my son and my husband put together for me this Christmas. And so we got a really late start. So here it is, mid-July. I cannot believe it, but my husband still got tomato plants growing. And he did mix up the kinds, so I couldn't tell you what they are right now when he potted them because he didn't know I had particular kinds. But they're doing really well. And the interesting thing is that everything about what we're growing this year, we are only using a growing medium that we provide on our property. And his experiment has been to only use the soil that we provide. So as you can see, my backyard and forest is really messy right now because I have not been able to keep up. But we burn wood for wood ash, and we get potash out of that. We take the leaves and he mixes it with compost from inside the house, organic compost and material, and he also mixes it with like grass clippings and things like that, and we get a medium. He does a different variety of mediums. Some are just brown things and grass, and that's about it, and others we've used compost from inside the house. And then of course we use chicken manure. And I want to show you a couple of other things he does. Excuse me for going so fast, I apologize. But you can see that jar right there? Right there, okay. That's a jar of banana and water. It's just an organic banana peel and water, and that's how he gets his potassium. And then we crush clean, bake, and crush eggshells from the chickens to get the actual calcium that we need. So let me pull the jar up, and I'll show you some of that. We'll walk over here to the table. We have actually crushed these in a little coffee grinder. You know, the kind that you use to grind, you see the powder down in there? Okay, that's ground up eggshells. And I had to use a mask to do it because it is extremely powdery and it gets all up in your system. It's not very pleasant. Okay, so walking around the garden here, this backyard garden, we have several gardens actually. This is heirloom basil from Baker Creek seed. All of the tomatoes. This is a ground cherry. This is actually an heirloom plant. It's a very old plant. It's an heirloom seed from Baker Creek, and you can see the little cherry. That's not a tomatillo, but it grows just like that. So that's going to become a paper shell, and the cherry will be on the inside. So those are cherry tomatoes. Then we have heirloom amaranth, and the amaranth provides green fodder and green material. The green you can actually eat as a vegetable. The grain we can eat and make bread and different things like that. And the fodder and the grain will feed the chickens. So our goal is to try to grow something that feeds our animals. And then we have the tomato plants, and I have some 4 o'clock seeds from a plant that was given to me by my friend Papa Don in Berry, Alabama. And then, yeah, that's about it for now. Okay, so my trick for today is I take t-shirts. I'm tying up the tomatoes today, and I thought you would enjoy seeing this. This is t-shirt fabric. When the t-shirt gets old, what I like to do is cut it in long, just a long, one piece of fabric. And so you're going to cut it. You're going to cut along at the bottom and just keep going. Don't stop. Keep cutting in a spiral like this all the way up the t-shirt. And then you pull it tight, and when you do, it makes this curl into a string. And this is a cotton t-shirt. So I've cut little pieces here, and what I'm doing is I'm tying up the tomato plants. Okay, so that's cotton material now, and we're recycling. You know, a lot of what we do around here is recycling, right? I mean, that's what we talk about is homesteading on a shoestring, really. And so that's what we've been doing this summer. So we have, see, we've got it tied up here, okay? So we are using sticks that I had cut off of pear trees when I prune them in the wintertime. to stake up our tomatoes, and we are recycling pots. We just recycle everything. Here I'm starting different types of plants. I get cuttings from people or bulbs or whatever, and I start them and then I multiply them, and that's what I use. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. That's our trick, is the t-shirt fabric into string. Now I know this was a long way to share that with you, but I hope you enjoyed the little tour of our backyard deck. And I'm sorry, moving around too much. All right, stop. So I hope you enjoyed that and learned about the potash and about the wood ash for for that. I've lost my words right now. And so we have all these different little tricks that we're using, and we are growing in it. So you can see it's making a difference. And down here real quick, we put wood chips on top of the avocados, and I'm not having to water them as much. Right now, Joey is out planting sweet potato slips that we grew from three organic potatoes that we bought at our friend's store, who has we have friends who have a health food store. And so we are growing from those slips. And so we're pretty excited about what we're doing. We don't have a lot of food this year, but we are having a lot of experiment time. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and I will try to make more quick videos on my cell phone like this one, because we're not able to get that edit station going this summer. We have too many things going on, and we're just having a lot of problems doing that. So if you don't mind it this way, then I'll post more. Thank you so much, y'all. I hope that you will continue to enjoy gardening the thrifty way, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.